Each month, myself and other Irrational Passions members will play through a new game. Modern to retro, obscure to popular. Games we've played before and those we haven't. We'll be hitting checkpoints as we go and discussing our experiences. Play along with us and join in the discussion. This is Video Game Book Club. Welcome everybody to the next episode of Video Game Book Club, the first one where we're actually talking about this live, which you can find on youtube.com/Irrational Passions, a week before the nice, pretty edited version, but you can interact with this one. This time we are starting our playthrough of Thimbleweed Park, picked by our very own Mr. Quin. How's it going, Quin?
It's good. I'm all right. I'm waiting for my mattress to come in tomorrow. I'm very excited about that.
Oh, nice.
That's such like a random thing to be excited. Like my mattress is coming.
I've been rocking this one for like 10 years, so
I can. What size are you getting?
I rock a full.
Aw, you gotta upgrade. You gotta get like a queen.
No.
California King. That's what you have
Hell
to do.
no. I don't need something that's way too long.
That's fair.
Wimp. We also are joined by the newest and most pretty and respectable face on Irrational Passions crew,
my goodness.
Miss Jessica
I don't know
Caswell.
about respectable.
How's it going?
I don't know.
Well, they
It's
don't know
good.
that, so it's a fresh new perspective, a whole new you.
Oh wow! This is my do-over. I get to start fresh right here.
If you want to.
All right, let's do it. This is the new brand. We're establishing it here and now.
Oh man, how exciting! It's like
People in the chat, throw out some keywords for me. We're just gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Oh, hi Bruce. He's not happy about this. Oh, he's really
Dog.
happy. Hey, come here.
Oh, we have dogs that interact and join in with Video Game Book Club all the time, so
Yeah.
my Shiba enjoys. We were supposed to be joined by, of course, our fearless leader, Mr. Alex O'Neill, but unfortunately,
R.I.P.
excuse me, he is fending off the
Deathly
plague right
ill.
now. He is
But
fending
of
off the
course,
plague.
he's sick.
Yes.
Big shocker there.
Yes. Much unfortunate. Get much rest.
But he gave us notes though, and I think that as long as we do our best Alex impressions, it'll be just like he's here.
Oh, I have a really good idea for what we'll do for Alex. So
Oh, I'm so excited.
So yeah, it may or may not involve a picture of him with like a masked out one of our faces talking over his face.
That'd be creepy as hell.
Just saying.
I absolutely love this. Yes.
I like it.
That's
And
so fucking creepy.
there's about 3 paragraphs, so if we split it up, we'll just like each person will do part of it in our
Should've
best
been-
Alex voice. You know.
Screw playing the game. I should have been practicing my Alex impression. That's really what's going to be on display tonight.
Oh, man. Yeah, we screw it. We're doing it live. We're gonna do Alex impressions live. No practice.
No.
But yes,
One take.
Yes, one take. But we are starting Thimbleweed Park. But of course, just like every other first episode of a game, we start off by looking back at the games that came out the year that this game, or the specific game we will be playing, came out. In this case, Thimbleweed Park came out March 30th of 2017, and what a year 2017 was. We had Resident Evil 7 rejuvenating and like bringing back the survival horror brand. Mm-hmm. I still have not grown the balls to play that in VR.
Hell no. I wouldn't play that generally. Fuck that.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't.
I haven't finished it in normal gameplay because I'm too scared.
I played Resident Evil 2 and I'm like, I'm good. I'm not playing any of that shit in first person.
Yeah, that Resident Evil 7's freaking terrifying. Prey came out. You're a big
That's
fan.
a good game.
You're a big fan.
What a scary year.
It was.
I stan Arcane.
Yeah,
I can say that.
He
easily,
does,
right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Thank you.
Why not? We had you added this, didn't you, Quin?
Hell yeah, I did.
One. You wanna say it because this is your
Dishonored:
your babe.
Death of the Outsider, Game of the Year 2017 came out, and one of my favorite.
That's kind of an expansion. I want to call it a full game.
Fuck you! I'm not having this conversation right now.
Just say
That's a good game.
it was literally a DLC.
Fuck you.
That's a fact. Just
It
saying.
is a fact.
Full retail release, motherfuckers. I'm not having
yeah.
this conversation.
After it was released as DLC.
This is already perfect. This is it. This is
I
top
fucking
tier.
hate this.
Screw Thimbleweed. We're gonna have the Dishonored Death of the Outsider talk.
Hell yeah.
God.
That's a good, like, it is a great game, though. So.
Haven't played that one, but I have played a ton of the next one, Kingdom Hearts 2.8. The game that gave us
shocker.
our first taste of what Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to be like with the Birth by Sleep Point 2 fragmentary passage. I had to think about that title there for a second.
That's just so much.
I know. Sonic Mania proved that Sonic games could still be good if made by fans in the old style that everyone loves. Surprise, shock.
Sonic Mania, like, I will like fight for it. This is a good game.
I got the collector's edition that came with like the little mini Sega Genesis and the ring, and it's right next to me, still unopened.
Yeah,
I have it, but I have. It's just one of those things that I got, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna play it, and I just haven't played it yet. And I really wish Alex was here for this one, Destiny 2, because he is the big Destiny boy of Irrational Passions.
Let's say, is he a Destiny 2 stan?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
him,
for sure.
him and Mike played a lot of Destiny 2 Forsaken, but man, oh man, they played a shit ton. And then Nintendo just pretty much owned 2017 with the release of both. The Nintendo Switch came out this year, and then they sucker punched everyone with Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. Holy crap. So good.
Breath of the Wild.
Oh, hi, bud.
Masterpiece of a video game.
It is very good.
Considering it was their first attempt at like a open world game, it was super, super impressive. I have some issues with it. Weapon breaking mechanic, but
I like that.
it could have been handled better. I like the concept. I think it was a bit... it could have been tweaked in execution, though.
I think...
Go ahead.
I like the new direction. I like that they like were innovative with it, and it seemed like this one was a return to like the original Zelda games, as far as like this is like the idea they had, but like now they have the technology to like execute it. But I also am a basic bitch, and I really love my collect 3 things, something happened, collect 5 things, beat the game. I miss like temples, like I love all that stuff. So like, I just hope they go back to it, to be honest, and like not every game is a repeat of that. We'll see.
Yeah.
I will say that was my big complaint with the game. I love weapon breaking because it keeps you on your toes. Also, that dog loves that fucking toy.
I know. I like just like tapped Andrew and I was like, please stop. And he looked at me like, so.
I know your pain.
Yeah.
I know that pain.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Scott does the edit. It's fine.
Well, I can't edit out dog squeaks. I mean, I'm not
Just
that
mute
good at
me
audio.
the whole time.
No, but it's fine. We'll have game audio and stuff. It'll be fine.
Okay.
But yeah, there were plenty of others, but those were the big ones of 2017. And now that those are through, we can talk in earnest about Thimbleweed. Now, Quinn, you have played this game before, correct?
Yes. So I don't like. I'll be frank with this. I don't fuck with point-and-click adventure games. I've never played one before, and like the pitch for Thimbleweed Park for me was like X-Files meets Twin Peaks, and I was like, I'm in. Like that's my jam. Then I started playing, and I'm like, yo, this game's like really smart. And as we'll talk later, like I think this game is excellent. I disagree with some of Alex's like points that we'll get to. I think the game like held up in 2017, and it's probably one of the games where I was like, oh, games can be like old games can come out like this and still be good, and they don't have to be like these graphical like fucking masterpieces like the games that are now, like the big games. It's like it's a return to form, and it's this fun yet puzzling game that's kind of short. I forgot how like short it was until I actually played it and looked at my last save, which was like 5 hours. Because some parts are going to be shorter than others. Like the next time we do this, parts 4 through 6 are going to be way shorter than 1 through 3.
Oh,
But-
really? That was like
Yeah.
one thing that shocked me when I started playing it. Is like part 1, I was like, oh, that was literally like
Yeah.
Yep.
5 minutes ish. So that really, but yeah, the other
Okay.
ones were like an hour probably, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, had you played this before, Jess?
No, I had never even really heard of it. I'm gonna be real.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know. I was like hiding under a rock, I guess, in 2017.
Yeah.
Have you much experience with the genre before, or
No,
no?
not really.
Yeah.
I think like my biggest like, and it's not even the same type of game, but like when I think about like point and click like puzzle type games, I played Myst like a really really long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, because what year is that from? I don't know. It's
92,
93.
93? Yeah.
Oh my god! Wow. Okay, so I played Myst in like probably '98. I feel like is when I played it.
Hey, that's when I was born.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, I'm not much. I'm
For some
93.
reason, Quin has to every time he come on remind us that he's a baby. So it's
Yeah.
just it's
You gotta play down that baby card.
Yeah. Make
true.
people understand.
There you go. And like it's not even the same. It's not the same type of vein of game,
Mhm.
but like that's really it. So this was my first time trying anything like this.
Yeah, I remember I've never been a huge fan of the point and click adventure game. Growing up, we had like a DOS machine, so there were a couple, but not being a big reader when I was growing up, I just never really it got me. I never had the experience with The Secret of Monkey Island, a lot of those LucasArts games growing up, which I think those were a little ahead of my time, or at least my ability to read time, back when I was younger. So I didn't have that nostalgia link to those sorts of games, so they just never grew on me. And by the time I started really getting into reading and things like that, I gravitated more towards the RPG side of things with big storyline, story-intensive games. And I had tried to get into some of them previously, and they just never grabbed me. So when Quin suggested Thimbleweed, it's like, yeah, I'll give it a try.
I like working a
And-
piece alone.
So let's, I guess, jump right into kind of the presentation and the chapters that we did play. We did play for this first checkpoint, chapters 1 through 3, through the end of 3.
So stay out of my way.
And so, like Quinn was also saying, it's a interesting mix of like an X-Files, Mulder, Scully kind of vibe with Agent Ray and Reyes.
Yeah. R&Rs, I like to call them.
R&R. Their dynamic is much different than Mulder and Scully.
Fuck, I love Mulder. Actually, no. I'm wrong. Fuck, I love Scully. Gillian Anderson.
Body starting
Oh my god.
to
They can both hit me up. I'll be real.
And David Duchovny's a little, like, you know, off kilter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
kinda crazy.
I mean Fox. I don't mean
Oh,
David
yeah.
Duchovny, so
But yeah, so the game starts off, you're called to...
Actually, no. The game starts and we see Boris.
Right. We,
Yes.
The guy
we
who
play
gets
briefly
murdered.
as Boris. He goes to signal somebody down by the river, and he gets killed in a mysterious fashion. Or what? Dun dun dun. I think I need the sound effect. The dun 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 sound effect.
you'll need
that
it a
I can
lot
just
in
like
this.
throw in throughout
I
this.
feel like especially with this game that would be very, very
Mhm.
apt.
Yeah. So, like Scott said, we play as Boris, which is like this. Excuse me, like this jet. He's just a plot device, and I hate saying that about a character, but he is literally just a plot device to get Ray and Reyes to to investigate the town, because they're, like I say in my notes, seemingly FBI agents. We don't really know they're FBI agents, and it's
Well,
fun
they say
watching
it. They're
their dynamic.
feds.
Oh yes, but if you listen, Agent Ray says to Reyes, "There's no
Oh, I
home
know.
office in Albuquerque."
There's definitely more than meets the eye, but there's
Yeah.
there's things going on. Right.
Yeah, it's very like it'll get deep later. Let me tell you.
There's no
But no, so we start playing as them, and we're investigating the crime scene. Crime scene is for
Now
Boris,
we're
and it's
headed
really
to town
fun,
and
like
find the
seeing their
local sheriff.
dynamic. I don't know if y'all caught the foreground of the bridge and like that sunset and just like it hitting the water in the body. Man, this game looks good, y'all.
It is. It definitely captures that
Mhm.
aesthetic and kind of the visual style, especially with the characters of Maniac Mansion is what stands out to me the most in
Yeah.
terms of kind of the character designs. That's what jumps out at me the most. But the movement, the pixel art,
It's an
like
empty
the
can of
the scenery, it all looks
spoon aheads,
fantastic.
the good
I
parts.
think.
But I'm very interested to see like what you guys thought of like the opening moments and how it felt like it controlled, because that's one of the things that turns
Signals
people
are
off to these
very
games
strong tonight.
is that they don't control well.
What signals?
The signals
Quinn, I feel like you're gonna hate
strong
me.
tonight.
So, the biggest thing, like, I feel like, and I'm not gonna go into like my feelings on all of it so far. I'm not like into it. I really, and like from the very beginning, I started playing it, and I was just, okay. So I think it's
Me and a
clever.
giant pigeon
I think
walked
that
in.
the way you
It was too
interact
good
is
to
very,
pass
like,
up.
as far as like pick an item,
Mhm.
then
The
verb,
signals
and
are
then do
strong
that to that
tonight.
item. I think that's really
Very
cool.
strong.
I just, okay. So like when I first started hearing the voice acting.
This is really
I
odd.
thought the game was like
Should
kind
I
of a
save my
like
game?
I didn't know what they were doing. I was like, oh, is this supposed to be funny? And I was like, oh no, that's just how they
Designed to have no
sound.
dead ends.
Yeah.
And like from it threw me off. It took me
Mhm.
out of it a little bit. Like the voice acting and the art kind of take me out of it. I like
But I'd watch
I
out for
like the
signals.
background. I don't like the
Be
character art. I
very
think that's what it
strong
is. There's
if
just
it's
the
Yeah.
characters take me out of it. So I think that was the weirdest thing for me
Yeah.
as far as like
You
the introduction to the
almost ran
game.
over
I
a
was like,
federal agent. That's
let's see where this
felony.
goes, because right now I'm having
Sorry
weird
about
feelings
that.
about it.
Like I
It's
said,
done in a very.
signals are very
It's done.
strong tonight.
My takeaway was that it was done purposely to make it look like an old
Do you know
late
anything about the body by
80s,
the
early
bridge?
90s
What is it
point and
whenever a
click
dead
adventure,
body
because it's the
sounds
same
suspicious always
exaggerated
falls to the person
proportions,
dressed as a
kind of
giant bird?
corny
It's a
dialogue,
cadet training
Mhm.
corny
I
voice
would say
acting.
corny.
About a dead body.
Corny
But the
voice
signals
acting
are
for sure.
strong
Dialogue's
tonight.
not corny. It's funny.
Very strong.
I'm drawing the line.
Eh,
Why are you dressed like a giant
Okay.
pigeon?
I think it's very
I'm Beth.
it plays you're right, it plays into that 80s thing, and it's
Mhm.
very what's the word that I'm
it's
even
very
looking for?
self-aware.
Give yourself-
Yeah.
Dad was expecting to have
um
and he was too cheap to have
I
Like
can't
some-
think of the word that I'm looking for. It'll pop up
Sometimes
later.
I think some of the dialogue they're doing just to be
Something like-
self-aware, and it doesn't always come
Nice
across
chatting
as
with you.
witty as
I
I
need to
think
find
they
Jerry to
want it
solve a
to
murder.
be. Like,
Nice talking to
at
you
some
too.
points I'm just like, okay, we get it. You are playing off tropes of point-and-click adventure games. You're playing off these tropes. So I'm kind of getting a little tired of that sort of stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, you're clever. You're
We should
kind of
go
breaking
find
the
the
fourth
sheriff.
wall.
So-
You've been doing that the whole time.
I don't know.
Campy
Yeah,
was the word I
don't
was
know.
looking for. It's campy.
I don't know how much time y'all spend with like menus in games, but you can turn off the in jokes, which is what I do every time I play this game. So there's none of that shit.
The what?
There's if you go to the settings,
You can
Hey.
yeah.
you can turn those jokes off.
I didn't know that. That's
Wait up.
crazy.
Yep.
Wouldn't that like fundamentally change the game?
If they're two different games, I played when I first did it. I did that, and I thought it like I was like, oh, it's being witty. Then you turn it off. Like when you go through a second time, it's all
That's
like,
interesting.
oh, it's a completely like different written
Interesting.
game.
Yeah, that's so because like that's why I said what is because like I was just really surprised because
Mhm.
that just seems like you would be like chopping the script. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Correct, sir?
Yeah.
Is it
But-
two different scripts?
There's just like there's subtle differences. So say you go to the edge of town, right, with the bus stop, and there's the quote unquote lady of the night. We'll get to
Mhm.
There's
that.
nothing
Um,
little about murder.
So you go and it says in like if you have that option on,
Ignore
the
him.
character you play, whether Ray or Reyes, says something like, "Oh, the developers didn't have much like weren't able to expand the map or whatever."
Mhm.
If that option's on, but if you turn it off, they just say, "Oh, I can't go any further."
I hope he's talking about on TV.
So that's one of those things. Like I will point out for y'all, if y'all don't like it, you can just turn that setting off.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is very
That's
interesting.
It's like I feel like it's a very strange thing for like a game developer to acknowledge that and like make a whole alternate mode around the way that they're writing a game. That's really weird.
Interesting
Makes no
choice.
Are
Yeah,
we
but I also
authorized
just
to
dabble
shoot
with video game
people
menus
arenas?
like for like 30 minutes if I can.
That's funny.
But no, so we're playing Ray and Reyes, and we like. What do y'all think of the pigeon people?
That was another thing. I got to it and I was just like, I don't know.
I thought they were funny, but then outside of that part, and then giving them the amp or the bulb for the whatchamacallit, I haven't seen them anymore, so it's just like,
yeah. It's been brief.
I'm expecting them to have a bigger part maybe later in the game, but right now it's just like,
they don't. I think they'll be back a little bit later, but it's nothing like major.
But I wanted to know what signal was strong.
yeah.
We'll see. You'll see what the signal is.
Okay.
It's not humor.
So yeah, then we meet I think.
But yeah, I thought it was funny how, when, in terms of Boris dying, how they were saying how the body was becoming more pixelated. I thought that was
Yeah.
That's a great joke.
Already on it.
But no, like I'm so eager to hear like y'all's thoughts on this because I love this. Like I really do genuinely love this game, and like Jess, I totally vibe. Like I vibe with both of you, and like how you first felt when you went through the game went through it. Like this is weird. But then like later when you play it more, you'll appreciate it. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, and like that's kind of what, like, because I started the game and like I said, I think I was just taken aback because like I didn't know much about it. I knew like the general premise of it, and I knew that it was like really well received. So I went into it expecting, oh, this is going to be a really cool indie game. People really liked it. I'm going to have fun with it. I'm sure it's going to kind of twist some things. Yeah. And I started it, and I was like, wow, this is like kind of a little bit rough. And I was thrown away, thrown back. And I started playing it more, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll get into it. I want to give it some time. Like, obviously, I'm going to finish it, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And go ahead, Scott.
No, I'm just gonna
sit back. And the other thing I'll mention is, I don't think either of you mentioned it. This game was made by Ron Gilbert and that original team. So that's why a lot of the jokes are the way they are. It's like they're the people who invented this genre. So they're just making a modern game. So
yeah, wasn't the whole thing backed on like it was like Kickstarter? Yeah.
See, with not having any real experience growing up with the old games, I don't even know really who Ron Gilbert is. So that name and pedigree, I remember it being on Kickstarter, and it's like, oh, that's cool, because I have friends that do like this genre. But I never really looked too closely at it. I saw that it got great reviews, but because the genre itself is out of my wheelhouse, I never invested much time into looking into it. So
I was the same way. Like it wasn't. I was the same with you. I think we're probably close to the same age, I would think. But like when I first started playing games that I was actually reading the dialogue and taking all that in, they were all JRPGs from the late '90s. Like that's what I played. So
yeah, and it's like I've personally never played one of these games before this. So that's one of the reasons. Like I was like, I want to do this because this is a genre that no one really talks about, nor I don't feel a lot of people played this game. And now that it's free on the Epic Game Store, you have no excuse to play this fucking game.
As of us recording now, because it's only up for a couple weeks that it's free. So if you're listening to this live or in like the next few weeks, then yes. But
don't be like me and pay $20 because you didn't know it was going to be free.
But no, what do you guys think of like the puzzles and that whole like arrest chapter? We'll get to the flashbacks after.
Well, before we get to the arrest chapter, let's kind of continue on. So we meet the pigeon people, the pigeon plumbers brothers, who are actually sisters, but they're named brothers because their father wanted sons, but got girls. So
and I actually thought that was kind of a funny joke.
Yeah,
I liked that.
Yeah, that was cool. That was funny. Like, some of the lines and dialogue is definitely witty, and I like how it does it, but sometimes it's like, okay, it's another self-aware joke, okay. But we do that, then we get into Thimbleweed proper, where we meet the sheriff, Areno.
Sheriff Reno.
Who then takes us to the
The
courthouse.
coroner. What's his thing?
Coroner.
A who?
A who? Yeah. It's a who.
Yeah, a who, and a Reno. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And
we
then
get the
Abu
manager,
is
man.
the manager.
The manager. Yeah, it's so good. Oh, it's not overplayed at all.
But then we find out that we start getting the idea and kind of the representation that this town, this city is run is automated, like with these Otrons made by Chuck, this individual that was that died recently, that owned a Pillowtronics, a pillow factory, and was also a brilliant genius and expert in artificial intelligence, or as I selected, aardvark insemination. Because that was one of the options.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
When you're talking to one of the characters, Dolores, I want to say, in the nickel store or the newspaper, she mentions the term AI, and you had a list of options on what it could be. I chose aardvark insemination.
Chuck?
Yeah, that's what I totally forgot about that because that's like I wasn't doing all the dialogue choices in this game because I already played it. So, but that is one of the I did choose that when I first played it, Scott. So yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And he is dead, so that's kind of mysterious. But we meet but we're here. These feds, Ray and Reyes, are here to investigate the murder of the body in the river, who we eventually find out during this checkpoint is Boris
From Deutschland.
See. So we get shown the fingerprint-o-tron.
I like how it was C.
Yeah.
Don't miss
Yes. Spain is very close to Germany, Scott.
Agreed.
I wasn't trying to be German.
I mean, C is also yes in Italian, so it could be both.
What is yes in German?
Fucking
Da?
No time to talk.
That's right.
That's
Or is that just-
Russian.
That's Russian.
Oh yeah, it is.
I'm
So
playing
what? Yeah.
Metro. So
I know
yeah.
no in German, but I don't know
Well, the
yes.
Hydrotrons too.
I'm gonna go to
Let's see. Let's see.
Google Translate.
Yes,
A
German.
WC-67
Yeah, we're out of
It looks like it's just yeah.
must have been the Cygnus.
YEA. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cygnus.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. There we go.
Ja. Yeah.
Okay then. Well, you learn something new every day here
Every
on
day.
Video
There you
Games
go.
Good Club.
Now you can talk to Boris's ghost.
Yeah.
I need to stay
Yeah.
focused and solve this murder. So
But yeah, and now we start getting into the investigating portion where we get to meet all sorts of interesting characters around Thimbleweed Park. What are some of the characters that have stood out most to you guys? I like Madame Modena, I think it is, the witch, the voodoo lady.
Oh, okay.
Madame Marina. I
Yeah.
think she's really funny, and her story kind of coming out is pretty funny. How she wants you to get her psychedelic mushrooms so she can do a spirit quest to figure out who the killer is. I thought that was...
I will say, my favorite character in the game is Dolores. We'll get to her later.
I say I like Dolores.
I love Dolores.
Not too much.
I fucking hate Ransom the Clown.
I say Ransom the Clown. I didn't know flashback people were included. Ransom and his
Oh God, I fucking
slash manager.
Oh my God. No, what's his fucking
We're the
name?
feds. You can trust us.
Who? What character?
What else
Oh,
do you know?
the quickie, the
Leonard.
Stop. Leonard, I love him.
Quickie Pal Leonard.
Yeah, just fucking stoned out of his mind, not giving a shit.
Yeah, man.
It's a fucking Southern California vibe. I'll tell you.
He's got serial killer.
They're in the north too.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 9 or 10 years ago.
But no, I love the sheriff is an oddball because we don't know his true intentions. Like, why is he taking all the maps from Thimbleweed Park?
Mm-hmm.
Big night tonight.
So like, that thing was kind of weird. I don't know, like I
Yeah.
feel like this is one of those games that's like you're probably gonna get to the end and be like, oh shit, and then you're probably gonna have to play it again, huh? Like I feel like that's like
there's
what type
so
of game this is setting
many
up for.
hints that I missed.
So I'm not like the end. When we get to the final thing, like the ending of this game is just so fucking brilliant. Like the last 5 minutes is just so smart, like game design wise.
Oh, cool.
It's really, really rad. My big question for y'all is, are you using the hint system in the game, or are you using a guide to help you?
Hint system in the game.
I use both. Honestly,
Okay.
I have looked it up. There was like one time I was stuck. I don't remember what part it was. I don't remember, but I had to look it up at one point. I played what's funny is I thought we were recording this way like a week sooner than what we did, so I played it like 2 weeks ago now.
Okay.
So I'm like trying to remember. I had like something up, and I'm like, okay, I remember doing that.
Yeah.
So,
See, what's weird is I use the hint system a bunch, but then towards like this afternoon, because I just wanted to get it done for this recording tonight, I went on Game FAQs and looked up a guide, but the stuff that it was telling me in the Game FAQs guide was different than what I actually had to do. So I don't know if did things happen differently, or if there was a patch that changed things.
No, that's probably the other difficulty mode, because the other difficulty mode is like hard as fuck.
Okay.
And the casual mode's like baby gamers, so like me, because fucking easy games are the best, y'all. Let me tell you. And that's one of the things. Like, because I played this game before, I know a lot of the puzzles. I will say you'll probably get caught up on the whole when we have to play more as Franklin, because that's just like the big. Personally, it's a big pain in the ass. Knowing what to interact with.
Franklin, that's the ghost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We have Ray. Ray is Ransom, Dolores, and Franklin.
Franklin, yeah. I'd say those are the 5 that we could switch from right now. And Boris at the beginning for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're only gonna be playing as those 5.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
I was wondering that. I was wondering if like more characters were going to be introduced, or if like you would get to see perspectives from like some of the weirder characters, like if we were going to go see the sheriff or something like that. But
It's core 5, makes it real easy. But no, so that's one of my big things with this game is like the puzzles can be a bit intimidating. And I think they're like in the quote unquote casual mode, they're very much scaled back, and they're not as difficult.
Okay. Because like the one where you have to feed little Beeper, the hamster, Ransom's hamster. In the guide, it was saying look for what hole the mouse comes out of, put the moldy cheese by the hole, and then it'll drop popcorn and you can get it. But in my game, there's just popcorn outside.
Casual mode.
So okay, those are why it's different.
Yeah, because there's gonna be another, like, near the end of the game, you'll need to, like, put tinfoil on a hat and this kind of other shit in the hardcore mode. In normal mode, you just put on the hat.
I can take care of myself.
Okay.
So, don't get, like, stressed out about that stuff. The game is scaled back significantly.
Okay.
that's kind of cool though. Like I like that there's such a difference between the different difficulties, and there's such a difference. Like, and you can do the dialogue change too. It's I like when games are customizable like that. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
They also have one of probably my favorite setting in a game. Turn the toilet paper over or under.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, because when you have
That's
to go get the TP for the
blood
swab,
sample.
That's it's the only time in the game when like it actually applies. But you can change how the toilet paper goes.
That's funny.
And there's a lot of like I implore y'all to check out the menus and check out the phones.
I was like, apparently I gotta check out some of these menus.
I was missing out.
Yeah, let me tell you, there's a lot of good gems in video game menus.
See, I'm waiting for the return of like the little pamphlets they used to put in in games. Like that was the shit that I would peruse.
I miss instruction books. And now I'm gonna miss some strategy guides because Prima's gone. I think.
She was too selfish.
I'm trying to think of what games I actually had strategy guides for though. You know, the one that like I remember religiously using was Harvest Moon Back to Nature. That was that was my thing.
For me,
I had to get all those birthday presents.
I like reading them more than I don't use strategy guides so much to actually play with the games, but more just to like look through, or like coffee table books, or random for the bathroom. You know, it's like I'm not feeling too good. Better take the Final Fantasy VIII guide with me. You know,
let me tell you all about this Stardew Valley wiki site.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Many hours.
I have
Oh,
put
yeah.
hours into that too.
Many hours on that site.
Oh, wikis. I don't consider a wiki a strategy guide. It is a guy with strategy. I'm talking about like the physical books. I never really so much use, but yeah, wikis I use so much.
Hours on that site.
So much wikis.
I would say if you're stuck, use the hint system.
Yeah, the hint
it will tell
system
you-
is really well done, and I like that it gives you the option of how blatant you want the hint to be. It's like kind of okay, here's a good direction. Okay, here's a more pointed direction. Here is literally the answer.
Yeah, what you need to do. Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's very it's very modern in that, where it's like it's varying degrees of like, hey, this is what you need to do. Hey, fucking do this.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things I really appreciate about the game.
Oh yeah.
And I think I've used the hint system twice
Yeah.
thus far playing, because I just remember so much.
Yeah,
But-
that makes sense. How many times have you played?
This is the second time.
Oh, okay.
But no, so let's get back to the game and we'll rest.
Yeah, let's
Get to
go.
that.
So this is chapter 3.
Chapter 3 is the rest. Yeah.
What was chapter 2? It was just kind of interviewing.
Chapter. Yeah. Mhm.
It's like the
It's like
introduction.
the smaller part of the town.
Yeah.
Prior to the map.
Yeah. Then you get the map, and then
And then you can go out further. Yeah.
Yeah. So what did y'all think of like do you think Willie murdered
No.
Boris?
no,
Okay.
not in the least.
Okay.
I also don't think Chuck is dead. I don't think Chuck is dead.
We'll get to that later in the game, Scott.
Oh, I know we will, because that
Um,
the killer will have to be revealed, and the whole mysterious stuff with Chuck will be revealed. So I have no doubt we'll get to that later. But that's just my
it's one of those things of like
that's my chapter 1 or that's my checkpoint 1 prediction in the past. Chuck
Shit
is
gets
not
weird.
dead, or Chuck has turned himself into a robot, like Chucktron 3000.
Hi there, George. I was just about
I'm not
to
gonna say
shut
anything.
down. Great timing.
You still around, Dolores?
But no, so
Yes.
I think the way how they split up
looking
the
for a job
arrests
at a
is
game
really
company
interesting.
in
You
a
have to
big
get like
city.
2 pieces of evidence for the face, the blood, and the fingerprint.
Yeah.
I have your special magazine here.
Also,
I've been
when
waiting for
you
that.
go as
Thank you.
Agent Ray,
Sure.
Mhm.
it's
And
what
you
we
go
dedicated
into
government
the
employees
alley,
do.
and she gets
Walk
knocked
all
out.
the way
Mhm.
out into the country to
Um,
deliver a magazine.
I think that's one of my favorite parts of the game is because
Bite Me Well,
I mainly
the
play
best
Agent
computer
Ray because
magazine
fuck Ray
ever.
is. Because he's just a baby and I don't like him. He's a fucking nerd.
Fantastic singer, though. I
Weak
have
men.
to say,
Yeah. Oh,
beautiful
Wow,
voice.
an
If you
actor
do
job
the
with
radio
Lucas
and him
Games,
singing
my
Daisy
favorite
Daisy,
game company.
beautiful
Mhm.
I
voice.
hear they make
I did
good
that.
Beautiful
too.
voice.
for sure. So then you just like there's that whole segment where you have to play as one character, and it's a little bit weird because it throws you off. You're like, what happened to my the
Mhm.
other half?
Mhm.
What did you guys think of that whole sewer sequence?
I thought it was like I did. The thing that stood out most to me with the sewer sequences, I thought it was cool how it used this jumping back and forth between the characters in a very unique way. It wasn't you had to find the other person with the second character. Like you didn't have to find Ray with Reyes, but you had to go to that area in the sewer to say, if you need help, call this number.
Yep.
And then you had to then jump back to Reyes and then just find a telephone book. Like it was an indirect way of helping, like a hands-off way, which I thought was very clever. That was what stood out most to me.
Hey
I
Scott, I
completely-
don't want to burst your bubble, but there's a phone book in that place.
In the sewer?
Yes. On the
Oh,
payphone,
really?
there's a phone book. Yeah.
What's your programming language?
Oh, that's
But
funny.
but I think that's
Well,
one of
that's
the.
proficient in.
that-
I think that's cool that you got that from that set. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that bums me out. That takes away some of the wonder of
Please
that.
answer the
It's like,
following
oh, that's
questions about our
clever how they
proprietary
did
mucus
it. But
programming
now
language.
that because there's a
All of the
damn
questions
phone
right,
book in the
just make your
sewers, it's
application.
like,
I know, yeah.
well,
Okay, first
now it's just
this is
stupid.
an easy one.
Yeah.
Next
Well, no,
question.
it's
the
reason
whole game is
Easy
ruined.
one.
Yeah. Oh, for
Reference
sure.
count.
Well, that section is like that
Hmm,
section
a
means
little
nothing to me
harder.
now.
Well, no, the reason they do that is
Ah,
because it's a
Debugging
tutorial
is on a
stuff.
second model.
Because you're gonna have to use the phone book later in the game.
Last question.
So they're just they're introducing it to you
This is going to
like
take some
slyly to say, hey, like this
it.
is a thing that you're gonna have to
Exclusive or-
use. And yes, we are gonna have
For
to flip
taking the
through a
mucus
phone book
phlegm programming
throughout the
test.
course of
No,
this game.
I'm cool
Yeah,
with
I remember.
I'm cool with
Mucus
flipping
phlegm
through a phone book.
programming test.
I was talking about I
answered all
liked
the
how
mucus
you had to
questions
go
correctly.
out
I'm
as
ready to
Reyes
print
to
out the
find a
application.
phone book.
Yeah.
And you had
That's
to
what I
use like knowledge that you didn't necessarily, you wouldn't have actually had. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I thought that was clever too.
That was good.
So,
Also, did you give Willie back his dime?
I printed my job application.
no, I hung on to it.
But the page is
Okay.
blank. Maybe the printer is.
'Cause
Were we
Like, he has-
supposed to?
Well, no, it's optional.
I
but
didn't
he
get
just
the dime back. I used
It's a
it
red
in
jelly
the
decoder.
phone when I was Ray to make the call,
Mhm.
and it didn't.
characters, screaming
Mhm.
about kombucha. I don't know why he's screaming about kombucha and like gluten-free donuts.
Voiced by
Hey.
Optimus Primal from
Hi
Beast
again,
Wars, by
George.
the way.
It's not like
Oh,
a government
wow.
employee to
All
make
right
a
then.
mistake, but I forgot to deliver
Diverse.
this important letter for your Uncle Joe.
But
He's busy in his workshop.
no,
and
shall
can't
we
be
jump into the
disturbed.
flashbacks?
I'll take it for him.
Sure.
Okay, Dolores, here it is.
There were what? There's two of them. There was with. Oh,
Illegal
hi
to
Bruce.
open
He doesn't want to jump into flashbacks.
Punishable by
Is there
Hi,
three?
Bruce.
Fine,
There's
5
three.
years in jail.
Oh yeah,
Thanks,
you're right.
George.
There is
That's
three.
good
I
to
forgot
know.
about.
Okay, back to
Franklin.
vitally
Yep.
important
Mhm.
government job.
Good old
There's-
Frankie.
Yay!
You're
I
fine.
answered all the mucus
Oh,
questions
okay.
correctly.
That's
Good
a
boy.
happy puppy.
Print out the
You're
application.
okay.
Good boy.
Which
Oh,
flashback did
there's
you
no
guys do
paper
first?
in the Printron 3000.
Ransom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There.
Mhm.
The blank
Okay.
paper
Yep.
is
I didn't even
Um,
know that there was an order. I didn't even think
answered
about
all
it.
the
I just
mucus
that
questions
was the first
correctly.
one I had.
I'm ready to
Yeah,
print out
you
the
can.
application.
The way you can do them is randomly.
Oh, okay.
I
Mm-hmm.
always
This playthrough,
like
I
to
think I
watch
did
this
part.
Dolores. I did Dolores
Oh.
first.
Mhm.
And just me like exploring the parts of the town because you can go to the bus stop immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went to, I forgot her name, Lenore.
Mhm.
I encountered the quote unquote lady of the night, which is such a fucking corny line. Then I did her, but I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on Ransom because I don't like him.
Let's say I know you hate it. I mean, he just
How
seems like your
exciting.
typical
I hope I
like
get the job.
angry carny type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very like Krusty the Clownish or something. Yeah.
He's a
so-
vulgar crusty. Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
bother me. It's like, okay.
He's just a trope, you know.
Yeah, he's another one of the just
Oh.
kind of crazy characters from this world.
Good luck.
Like,
See
an
ya.
R-rated Krusty.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would
fucking hate
open this
him.
in my room.
I like
What
like,
about
I-
him do you hate? I'm
Yeah, so, yeah,
curious.
tell-
Like,
tell us
why
about it.
do you hate him?
It's just so like overdone. His bit is just
But I feel
When
like
we-
that's Thimbleweed.
That's the
Like,
game,
everything
yeah.
is overdone.
no. When you have to do
Now that
the
I'm in
rest
my
of this
room,
game
I'm
with
still
this
so
goddamn
scared to
clown,
open it.
you are not gonna be
I need
happy.
to get up my nerve.
Like
Come on,
he's
Dolores,
fun. Yeah,
you
sure,
can
he's
do it.
fun. Yeah, sure, it's corny that like
Okay,
all
but
his
if it's a
swearing is
no,
bleeped.
that means I'm
At the end of
stuck
the
in
game, you're
Thimbleweed
just like,
Park
fuck
and
this
have to take
goddamn
over the Thimbleweed
clown.
factory.
You mean bleep this?
Yeah,
Bleep
Bleep.
this.
Damn. Because you
Okay, but-
bleep the god
Mhm.
and goddamn.
Yes, what
So.
will become of Dad? Stuck
Yeah.
here alone with Uncle Chuck.
but no.
Um,
What did y'all think
Okay,
of
but-
him and his like that whole
Okay,
sequence
okay,
with
I'm
Ransom?
opening it.
Oh.
Yes! It's a job offer from Mucus
I mean,
Farm to be a game
yeah, it's
program.
like it just like
I'm
and see
so
this is the thing for me is it
excited.
just
Can't wait to tell Uncle
felt
Chuck.
like
He'll be
I
so
was playing
proud.
an older
But
tropey game, so I guess like
Yeah.
it didn't stand out to me. It was just kind of like, okay, now I'm gonna go see the manager. I'm gonna go. He went onto the
Yeah.
little stage thing. Like I
Yeah.
like it didn't really. It wasn't a standout part. I think that out of all the flashbacks, like it was probably Dolores was the most standout, and then
Yep.
probably Franklin,
Mhm.
and then
Like, yeah, like, I guess I just felt, especially because it was the first one, it just, like, okay, so we know a bit more about this
Mhm.
clown. Like, from it,
Yeah.
we, at least at this point, it just explains why he can't get his makeup off. Like,
Yeah.
and that he's a vulgar clown. Like, it does,
yeah,
at least right now, it hasn't added much. Being able to play that section hasn't added much to me. Like,
Exactly. It didn't have
I
much
didn't
bearing
hate
on
it,
the
but it's
plot.
just like,
Yeah.
okay, this is just another 10-15 minutes I have to walk around doing a little puzzle. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Which it kind of set me up for this like expectation of this is going to be one of those games where, and you even see it. It's a town filled with quirky characters, and not necessarily everything is important, but the quirkiness of it adds to the overall atmosphere of the town, and that's what it seemed like for me when we were watching that flashback. This is just setting up like the atmosphere, and it's getting you in that mental space of this is weird, this guy is weird, there's something like off about it.
Yeah. So, when I first played this game, I thought like Ransom was the killer. I was like, "Fuck this clown! He murdered this guy." Like, not having it. Because I think it came out that year too.
I would say clowns have been known to murder, so
I felt like I never got that feeling though, just because it was almost too blatant. Like the game went out of its way to try and make you hate him. So it's just like it would be way too obvious if this dude is the one that is the big bad.
Those murder simulators. Real life murder is the next logical step for her.
I
sweetie.
can't stand this fucking
Stop
character.
her before
Like,
she schemes her way into
my
sweet
God.
Uncle Chuck's
But
inheritance.
just
no.
because he's too much.
Sure.
He's too much, and like,
It's just so funny to me because it's like the whole game
everything
seems
is
to
too
be
much.
built on too much.
but the thing is, I can handle the rest of the game. I just hate fucking clown.
That's really funny.
I think it's just because he's just complaining all the time,
Yeah.
and everyone else is just living in the world.
Mhm.
Then there's like, for me, there's that difference. But let's talk about Franklin. Then we'll do Dolores last because Dolores is the best.
So I mean, Franklin seemed cool. He died.
Yeah.
But he seemed cool while he was alive.
Yeah.
I thought
But,
I thought was interesting just because of what he was trying to do in like for the whole because I did his last. So through Dolores's thing, he was
Needs a dime to work.
very meek. So the idea of him kind of going behind his older brother's back to do this to try and improve the company, I thought was interesting. And how it kind of relates and looks like Boris is one of the investors or something Franklin was trying to meet with. Because you find one of the prototype bears in Boris's room. So that's why I figured that. So it's like that kind of wraps that back Boris into the main story, I think. At least right now, that's what I'm thinking.
yeah.
So I thought it was definitely interesting. His I liked because I feel like it added more intrigue. And it's like, this is some interesting. This is an interesting twist, which I didn't get from Ransom.
Yeah.
Yes, I completely agree with both of the other, and I guess maybe it's because like so Franklin is Dolores's dad, so it's going more into like that family's history with the town, and like that to me I was like, okay, like I'm actually I want to like there's obviously more here, and you can even tell like with Reyes there's like some sort of weird connection to the town, like just in some of the dialogue and stuff too. So it's like, what's going on here? Like there's something with this family and with the factory and with all of this, and like I'm interested. So I was a lot more intrigued by Franklin's flashback and Dolores.
Yeah. What about you? What did you think of Franklin's, Quin?
It's one of those things like
don't mess with
I
the
love
police
it. I
scanner.
like
I'm waiting for
I
a
liked
call from
his
the sheriff's
flashback
office about
more
a
than
woman
Ransom,
by the
obviously.
mansion being noisy.
Not as much as Dolores, because I loved her flashback so much. But no, for me it was that I also when I first played it, we'll talk about it like the next time we do it. I hated his whole fucking segment.
Oh really?
Yeah, being a ghost ain't fun. Let me tell you. But no, I think it's fun, and it was one of the moments I really loved when you walk into the hotel, and then you walk to you just mosey on over to the counter. Then Franklin says, "Oh, the guy's gonna recognize me. I need a disguise." Then you go over to the kid with his jukebox. I mean his boombox. Sorry. Then you get his disguise through various means.
I love having to think back in like timepiece and period place all the slang. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
It was it was really, really funny.
Mhm.
I like that part.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite bits about that is you do that whole segment. Like for me, it's like I just remembered all the dialogue, so I just blew right through
on
it.
MTV and
Then I walk up, and then it's like the variety of options that you can say
Mhm.
who you are as Franklin, and I chose George Michael. George Michael, yeah.
I did
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez.
Okay.
I think I also went George Michael.
Michael, yeah. Sledgehammer, baby.
tells me
Uh,
what's wicked and what'll
but no,
kill
and
me
then
with a
you-
spoon.
And we have to do his whole puzzle with making sure he doesn't get seen.
you know what's tight right now.
And I think that
When you have
there's
something new
in
and
this
sick,
game there's so many
I'll
subtle
trade you.
clues
Until then,
that I don't
I'm
think
gonna
if you
rock
catch the first time,
don't you just
it will really
love
kind of bite you in the ass.
Mhm.
Because the hotel manager of Boo says that they're doing like they're
Mhm.
installing the security on the 10th or 11th
10th.
floor?
Mhm.
10th.
It's locked.
So then you have to parse together, oh, I need to go there and get the like it's the whole like you really have to pay attention in this game. That's one of the
Mhm.
things I
Mhm.
loved about that. It was reinforcing that idea and that notion of like, hey, pay attention, because if you miss it, it's gone.
Yeah.
But no.
So we do
But
that.
then-
We stick some gum in a picture on the Hotelatron 3000 and
Yep.
gets murdered by someone he recognizes that wasn't that he didn't know was going to be there.
Dun dun dun. That's where we use it again.
Yep.
Yeah. Or we can use like Law and Order music like that. Dun, dun.
Now I like the dun dun dun.
Yeah. Dramatic effect is
Yeah.
what
And
that
it's
adds.
more ominous.
It's
too.
true.
But then we jump. Then we do
Welcome back to
Dolores'
the
flashback.
Hangout 3000.
Yes.
How can I help you?
But
And that one was at the mansion.
hmm
The
Mhm.
kid
The
wants
Edmund
something
Mansion
cool and
mansion.
cutting edge.
and I'm very excited to hear your
Do you
guys'
have anything
thoughts
so
on that.
new it's in a prototype stage?
Dolores just wants to make video games.
Yeah.
I get it.
I
get
like
it.
her as a
It's
character.
man's world.
Prototype teddy pillows for the
I like her as
No,
a
I do too.
character.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I think
Goodbye.
hers didn't add as much to the story or like add as much to my intrigue of things that were going on as much as Franklin's did.
Yeah.
But as a character, I really like her.
Hey, dude,
Mhm.
what's your damage?
She carries the game well.
Yeah.
Dude, check out this rad new
And it's
pillow bear.
one of my favorite things is
It's
like when
righteous. Big time righteous.
you're
I'll do
doing
you a
out the
favor
whole
and
job
trade you.
application thing.
You do that for me?
And like
sick.
no matter how you
Ooh,
answer
what
the
do you wanna
questions,
trade?
she's gonna get the job. Fucking spoiler.
I'll trade you
She gets a
your
job for
glasses.
Mucus
No
Phlegm, which is
thank you.
basically like
Gag me.
a
Your
knock
glasses
at
totally make you look like a
LucasArts.
dweeb.
Yeah.
Well, their logo is like exactly like LucasArts
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, which is one of the
Mhm.
like
First,
subtle
here's
touches
my
that they
used
do.
gum for your collection.
I
But then
don't
as
have a
she's
gum
waiting
collection.
for
never
the
mind that.
application
Now
to
give me
come
that bear
back,
so I rock
did
it.
you all notice that she was like a
Sure.
skeleton?
Skeleton,
because
yeah,
she just-
because she had just
Yeah.
stayed there for
Delicious
5
or
days straight.
days,
I
yeah.
can't keep this up. Let's get
It's one
this
of my.
over with.
It's a great
Here it is.
touch for me.
I
But
agree.
no.
Your eggs.
Women can make video games.
No, they can't.
Back.
Come on. We can't make them. We can't talk about them. I'm not even supposed to be
Nobody
here.
can recognize me now.
I did find it funny how Reyes mentioned something to Reyes mentioned something to Ray how Dolores was strange or something along those lines, and Ray just like, yeah, a woman with a brain or mind, how strange. It's like, ooh, girl, you got him good.
Yeah,
So
the
she's-
80s.
She's a sassy lady.
Yeah, she is.
Sure thing,
She's tired of his shit.
Yeah.
She doesn't take anybody's shit.
No, she doesn't, and that's why she's one of my favorite characters in this game.
Now I should
Like
check
I just
into a
remember when they
prepare
first
for the
like
meeting.
start going to the
Back to the Edmund
like when they get to
Hotel.
chapter 3
may I
and
be
he's
of
like, I think we're
service?
getting close to cracking this case, and she's like, I think you're getting close to cracking my patience, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to check.
Girl.
It's like, damn, okay.
Yeah. She gets wittier and sharper
Mhm.
like later on.
Emilio
It's
Estevez.
good.
Of course.
Like I don't even know what Reyes did, but you're done with him.
Yeah.
On the third floor.
So Dolores is important. I'll just say that. All these characters are important. I think Ransom has the least importance out of all the characters. But no, we gotta. Dolores is
Is there any
mad
surveillance
important in
in
the
the
game,
hotel?
so learn to appreciate
certainly
her.
not, Mr. Estevez.
Um,
We have our state-of-the-art.
No, I mean, this
Hotel
very much,
Tron
like I
3000
said
system,
earlier
which creates
in
a
recording this,
VHS
this
video
very
of
much
your
seems like one of those
entire
games
stay
to where
with
like
us.
the payoff
like
is going to be
surveillance.
what makes it.
How
And I feel like
you ask?
it's just a matter of
For
if that payoff is
$19.99,
like
you
big enough
get
for
a
people,
unique
that's I think
record
it's going to
of
make you
your
love the
trip
game.
highlights to
And if
share
it
with
falls
friends
flat, it's
if
probably
you
going to
move
make you
back home.
indifferent.
It's
So
such a
it's
system that we're still
I'm
installing
excited to
it
see
on
what
the
happens,
Taboo
though.
floor.
Yeah.
Since you won't
And I have to say, I have to admit this. It took me far longer than I care to admit to realize that I could click the
I'm going to
the
look at my
county
view of
map
your
in the
beautiful
menu
lobby.
to instantly
Oh.
be taken to the menu screen.
Peekaboo.
It's like,
Yeah.
why the hell did this copier make 4 copies and I
Thank
didn't
you.
get it? And I was complaining. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to bring up today that I think it's super stupid how you have to walk to like far off points in order to
Yeah.
take to that county map. And then I discovered it and it was like, wow, okay. That
Yep.
would have been nice to know like an hour and a half ago.
That's
Yeah,
really
it'll-
funny.
It'll make the game so much quicker.
Yeah.
You know, I knew it with this one, but I don't even want to get into how many games I didn't realize fast travel was a thing until like way later in the game than I should have. Like, oh my
When-
god, I remember. Do you want to know something super embarrassing?
fix
One of
it.
those games.
Hell
for me
yeah.
was-
We
was
need dirt.
Skyrim.
We need dirt
Wow.
on you.
I did
Wow.
not know for the longest time that you could fast travel Skyrim. I was like, this map is so fucking big and this is so annoying. And then Andrew was like, if you click on the places, you can go. And I was like, so that was one of those games. It was so stupid too. Is like I had played Oblivion before, but
And that
I
had
don't
fast
know.
travel, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Guess I had
Um,
just forgotten. So there you go. That's my embarrassing thing to make you feel better
No.
about the map.
It's weird when games don't have fast travel.
It is. Yeah.
Let me tell you,
I think it's
Metro
one of those-
Exodus does not.
Oh
Really?
really?
Yes, it's very weird. But it's fun. I
Interesting.
like that game.
But yeah, so we get through the we find the ice pick in the sewers. We get the blood sample we finally Ransom is able to give his wallet to Willie, so we get his get Boris's bloody wallet. We get the ID from the hotel, and we throw it all into the Finger-tron and the Blood-tron and the Face-tron, and we get the 3 pieces of evidence, and we feed those into the Arrestotron, and beep boop, arrest Willie. So we arrest Willie. He's thrown into the locker arena, and he confesses to being Jack the Ripper. All sorts of things. The murderer. I love it how you can just keep having him admit to things, and it just
Yeah.
goes through a list of incredibly like high profile murders and things. Like he killed Jimmy Hoffa on behalf of the mob. and-
Clear your conscience.
Yeah.
What's DB Cooper was probably my favorite.
yeah.
Like motherfucker, no. Just like
No.
Anything else?
I like Jack
I
the
liked
Ripper.
Jack
I
the
thought
Ripper was really
I was
funny to
like,
me.
that's funny.
Mhm. No, I mean, it's like those are the parts where like I really like how out there
Keep
the
going.
game is and
You're
how it's
digging
just
your own
like
grave.
I don't know. It really plays into that and it's funny.
Mhm.
I think when it has more of that sort of humor, more than just like the fourth wall breaking lines, like that's when it really does it for me.
Keep going.
Yeah.
you
You're
can
digging
turn
your
off
own
that
grave.
setting.
I know. I guess I gotta. So we'll see.
It'll like,
Keep
and I'll tell you
talking,
if you
boy.
replay it and you have that setting off, completely different like dialogue and humor.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Boy.
But should we jump to the big boss man's thoughts?
Yeah.
Ooh, I forgot about
Wait,
Big Boss Man
wait.
having thoughts.
We're getting a special incoming transmission from Alex. For better, for worse. I love the pixel art. Love the stuff in the foreground in particular. And it's really impressive how much they truly nailed the tone and humor for this kind of game from this specific era of the game. My big criticisms are it feels like the cool ancillary fill out the world details of this game are all made up of Kickstarter backers, which I feel in past games were made with fun references to other games from the same company or something similar, like Sierra Adventure Games versus LucasArts ones. The The phone book and the library stuff is cool, but it doesn't hold the same charm for me. Also, I think it's very clear to me that using the scum verb choices does not hold up. The nostalgic for me, for sure, and I think it certainly worked for the backers of this game, but I bet most of you didn't like the picking. Also...
But I
your best,
bet
Alex.
most of you didn't like picking a verb when most modern adventure games just fill in those blanks for you. I also guess I don't quite see why there are so many characters yet, but Franklin having his own unique verbs does spice things up.
Overall, I'm having fun with it. It's been a fun to play modern scum game, and it's written super well. My favorite segments have been the condensed flashback segments, and it was cool to see those narratives come back into the central story. Some segments are super hard. Excited to play more.
Thank you for that, Alex. Thank you for leaving us with your thoughts and taking time away from your bed rest to leave us with those inspirational words.
I'm not gonna lie, when you first says now, like, what are your thoughts on, and then you said, like, boss, and I was like, there was a boss? Like, what? I was, like, really worried for a second. I was like,
boss.
oh, no.
What?
Like, I fucked up.
It's like, I don't remember that.
Alex is gonna fucking hate us.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
No, Alex is gonna love it. I gave him a sexy voice.
It's
Not
true.
that his voice isn't already very sexy.
Yeah, I try to do like quiet ASMR voice for him. So
Oh, yeah. You need to do just, like, little, like, the tongue thing, so, like...
yeah, no, I can't do that.
And just
There
so
you go,
know,
yeah, the lip
Oh
smell.
Here,
my fucking god!
we're gonna talk we're gonna talk real softly right now. It's getting late.
Like and subscribe, everyone.
How you doing? Don't forget to knock that bell. You know, we
is so
really
good.
appreciate it. You know, we get those views, we get those subs. We appreciate it. We appreciate you. You know, that's what we do.
That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I am not actively participating in that in any fucking sort or form.
Sword or form, indeed.
Sort of form.
Is that the new Pokemon game?
Yeah, sword and gun.
And form.
Yeah.
Sword and form. Yep, exactly. But that will bring chapter 3 to a close, and we'll be carrying off. Well, not carrying off, but that will end it for this checkpoint. Next checkpoint will be completing chapters 4 through 6. So if you are playing along with us, that is what we will be playing through up till and be discussing for next time, which will also be live. That's our new format for this shindig.
And we'll also probably have me just sitting here petting Bruce the entire time to get him.
I'm fine with that.
That works. Alex will probably be back. He should be. Hopefully the plague doesn't keep him for 2 weeks.
Doesn't claim him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The plague doesn't claim his life. Otherwise, well, maybe he'll have to leave us more notes. Maybe he'll have to.
Shopping an album?
No, he's gonna have to. He's gonna Franklin the ghost this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, he's gonna zap us.
Can we please get like a blue filter and just put it on him the next show?
Yeah.
He's also gonna blow on us because that's another of Franklin's verbs.
Blow.
Blow on.
Yep. This is true.
Thank God that wasn't Dolores.
Oh my God.
Oh.
And
with that,
yes,
problematic.
We're gonna leave it with that, everybody. Well, Quinn, Jess, where can everyone find you online?
Go ahead first, Jess.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Jessacogs, and that is JESSACOGS.
You can find me on Twitter at quantum_arbiter for my fucking bullshit.
That's the spirit, Quinn. And you guys can find me on Twitter at SolidSnake120. Be sure to check all of our good content over at IrrationalPassions.com. Be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube and click the notification bell, which will be somewhere. You can also join us and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/IrrationalPassions. You can follow us on Twitter at Twitter... You can follow Irrational Passions on Twitter at IrrationalPod. We also have a Discord channel where you can join the community in the description down below this video. Once the edited video is up, anyway. And until then, everybody, until next time, we hope you have a wonderful rest of the time in Thimbleweed Park, and we will catch you all next time.